Part 2 or Section 2 continued from the first God, Marriage, Family, and the American Destiny video. This is a special edition from the Generation Jumpstart Club. Section 2. From a scriptural perspective, marriage has always been a sacred covenant between one man and one woman, a union reflective of divine order and creative purpose. Obergefell replaced that theological vision with a purely secular and subjective understanding of marriage, one rooted in personal preference, not divine pattern. Many Americans celebrated the decision as a triumph of equality. Yet for those who uphold a biblical worldview, Obergefell marked a profound rupture, a legal declaration that moral truth could be reshaped by cultural sentiment. The ruling disregarded not only religious tradition but also the anthropological reality that marriage, as an institution, is uniquely oriented toward the bearing and raising of children. When marriage is decoupled from this purpose, its social function weakens, and its societal esteem inevitably declines. These judicial rulings did not arise in a vacuum. They reflect deeper currents of secularization, individualism, and moral relativism that have surged through American culture. But law is a teacher, and when the highest court speaks, its echoes shape the faintest hearts and minds. Together, Roe and Obergefell speciously reordered America's moral compass, not toward freedom rightly understood, but toward autonomy unmoored for responsibility and reverence. Section 3. The Cultural Consequences, a Nation in Decline. The unraveling of America's moral and legal understanding of life, marriage, and family has not occurred in isolation. It has had measurable consequences for our society. What was once upheld as sacred and central has now, in many circles, become peripheral, optional, or even burdensome. In the wake of judicial redefinitions and cultural shifts, the institutions of marriage and childbirth are in steep decline. And with them, the very structure of our civilization is being eroded. Marriage rates have fallen to historic lows, reaching numbers unseen since the founding of the Republic. A generation ago, marriage was a near-universal rite of passage. Today, it is increasingly delayed, avoided, or replaced with more transient arrangements. The idea that marriage is essential to personal fulfillment, to child-rearing, or to societal cohesion has given way to a vision of self-actualization that elevates autonomy above covenant. In such a climate, traditional marriage becomes not only undervalued, but misunderstood. Simultaneously, the celebration of childbirth has diminished. The miracle of new life, once welcomed with communal joy and spiritual gratitude, is now often viewed through a lens of economic burden or personal inconvenience. Birth rates in the United States have steadily declined, now resting below replacement levels. This demographic reality carries profound implications, not only for the nation's economic future but for its cultural and spiritual vitality. The connection between the decline of marriage and the decline of childbirth is not accidental, they are intimately linked. When marriage is weakened, the environment most conducive to responsible parenthood collapses. And when children are no longer seen as blessings but as burdens, a culture of life gives way to a culture of calculation. The family, once the cradle of values, dissolves into a patchwork of arrangements that struggle to pass on any moral legacy at all. In place of strong, nurturing families, we increasingly find isolated individuals, fractured communities, and a nation searching for stability in all the wrong places. As the family falters, other institutions, from schools to neighborhoods to churches, feel the strain. The question must be asked, can a nation long endure when the very means by which its people are formed and its values transmitted are disintegrating? The warning signs are flashing. And if we fail to heed them, we risk not only our prosperity, but our purpose.